What's good, YouTube? ShawnReactz. Your life if you become #1 on the FBI most wanted list. Hopefully, this not you. Shit. Let's see what happens if you
Nobody
number one
does.
on
You
the hit
start
list.
small. A quiet decision in a quiet room. No cameras, no witnesses. Just you and a choice that feels minor. You think about the risk for maybe 4 seconds. Then you move. The world doesn't notice. Traffic keeps moving. People check their phones. A clerk at a gas station 2 blocks away pours his third coffee of the morning. Nothing changes. That's the part that gets you. The silence after. The absolute stillness of consequence not yet arriving. You feel capable, organized, smarter than the situation. You're not wrong, yet. But somewhere in a building you've never seen, in a system you've never thought about, a file gets created. Not because of you specifically, because of a pattern, a category, a set of behaviors that a database has been trained to recognize since before you were born. You don't know about the file. You go home, you eat, you sleep, the file stays open.
It's like a regular
Level
everyday
1,
shit.
minor attention. You
Level
do it
1.
again, it's easier the second time. The anxiety you expected never fully arrives. Your hands don't shake, your voice doesn't change. You've already run the scenario in your head enough times that it feels routine. That's the first mistake you don't recognize as a mistake. You're operating in a county with a 3-person financial crimes unit. 2 of them are part-time. The third is 2 years from retirement and managing 17 open cases. You're not even a case
Okay.
yet. You're a flag, a single anomalous entry in a federal reporting database that gets reviewed quarterly. The review happens on a Tuesday. Someone circles your entry in a digital report. Not urgently, it's a checkbox. Potential follow-up required. The follow-up doesn't happen for 11 days. When it does, it's a phone call, not to you, to a regional office. An agent makes a note. The note says, low priority, monitor. That's all you are right now. A note. You think the silence means safety. You buy something new. You change your routine slightly, not because you're scared, but because things are going well and momentum feels good. You're in a coffee shop one morning and you make a call you shouldn't make on a cell phone you think is clean. It isn't clean. You don't know that. The call lasts 4 minutes and 12 seconds. The content isn't intercepted, not yet, but the metadata is logged. Tower location, duration, device signature. It
Damn.
feeds into the same
That's a whole
database
shit
that
now.
already has your flag. 2
Yeah.
data points now align. Alignment isn't accusation, not yet, but the algorithm notices. You pay for your coffee in cash and walk out into the morning like someone who has everything under control. The net doesn't move, but it exists. Level 2, pattern recognition.
Level 2.
3 months pass. You've done it 4 more times. Different locations, different methods. You think the variation provides cover? It doesn't. Variation is still pattern. Pattern is what systems are built to find. A task force forms. Not because of you alone, because of a cluster. 7 cases across 4 states that share structural similarities. You're 2 of those 7, maybe 3. The task force has a name. It has a shared server. It has a lead analyst named something forgettable who works 14-hour days and drinks bad coffee and has matched behavioral signatures across federal databases before. She matches yours. Your alias appears in a document for the first time. The document has a classification level. It gets distributed to 9 people. A regional newspaper runs a story about a string of incidents. The story doesn't name you. It
Level
doesn't
2
have
gets you on the
enough to
news.
name you, but it describes the general shape of what's happening. A profile, vague but directionally accurate. You read the article. You think, that's not me. You think, they're looking for someone else. You do it a 5th time. This time, you leave something behind. Not evidence exactly, a behavioral residue, a timing signature that the analyst recognizes immediately because she's been tracking it for 6 weeks. She flags it that afternoon. By the following morning, A federal agent is standing in a parking lot 3 blocks from where you were, talking to someone who might have seen you. The person gives a description. The description is partial. It's enough. Your file gets a name, not your real name yet, a working name, a placeholder, but the placeholder gets its own folder and the folder gets assigned to a full team. You feel untouchable. The team meets on a Wednesday. You're the only thing on the agenda. Level 3,
It's not good.
escalation to priority. You make the
Level
large
3.
mistake on a Thursday in October. You don't see it as a mistake immediately. It feels like a decision made under pressure with the information you had available. That's what all large mistakes feel like from the inside. What it looks like from the outside: a
Not right.
line crossed, a threshold exceeded. A case that was labeled moderate priority gets reclassified within 48 hours. Now you're serious. New resources arrive. A second team gets briefed. A federal prosecutor is assigned before you're even charged with anything. That's how this works. The legal infrastructure assembles before the collar. Everything is documented, cataloged, prepared in advance. An intelligence analyst builds a timeline of your last 18 months. It's more accurate than your own memory. They know where you were on a Tuesday in March that you barely remember. They have a receipt from a gas station, a toll record, a phone ping off a tower 4 miles from a location you thought you'd never connected yourself to. You had connected yourself to it. The psychological pressure hasn't reached you directly yet, but it's being applied through proximity. People you've been near are being interviewed quietly. Routine questions, nothing alarming, but each interview maps the space around you with more precision. Someone you trust gets asked 3 questions. They answer honestly because they don't know what's happening. Their answers close a gap in the timeline. A name appears in the file, someone close to you, not as a suspect, as a vector, a point of contact, a potential leverage point if it comes to that. It will come to that. Public awareness is building slowly. Your working name shows up on a secondary list, not the main list, not yet. A watch list, a precursor. You're being measured. The measurement is almost complete. Level 4, active hunt. Your real name
this point,
lands
you
in
are
the
cooked,
file on a
honestly.
Monday. You don't know this. You're in a motel 2 states away, eating from a vending
They just
machine
waiting for you
and
to do
watching
something.
news that isn't about you yet. By Friday, it will be. Your accounts, all of them, including ones you forgot you opened, are under monitoring orders. Not frozen, monitored. There's a difference. Freezing alerts you. Monitoring tells them where you are. Your face appears on a federal database with a formal case number. The case number carries priority status. Field offices in 6 states get the notification. U.S. Marshals are briefed. Your family gets a visit. 2 agents, professional, calm, they don't threaten. They ask questions and document the answers and leave a card. Your family calls you. You don't answer. That non-answer gets logged. Surveillance goes active. Not on you. They don't have you located precisely yet. On the nodes around you, the people you might contact, the places you might return to. You start making decisions that feel tactical but are actually reactive. You move every 4 days. You stop using the same name twice. You stop eating in restaurants. You buy cheap phones and destroy them on a rotation. None of it matters. Every action you take to avoid detection generates new data, new pings, new patterns. You're feeding the very system you're trying to evade. The U.S. Marshals coordinate with local law enforcement in 2 cities simultaneously. You feel alone. You are alone. You make a call to someone you shouldn't. It lasts 90 seconds. You hang up feeling slightly less isolated. The call is traced within 6 hours.
I'm
The
already
net
knowing.
stops
That was
being
dumb.
invisible. Level 5. Collapse.
If you wasn't
You're
gonna
in a
call
state
nobody
you didn't plan to
and
be
that little
in.
time skip,
It's cold,
why would
November. You're wearing the wrong jacket because you left your bag behind 2 moves ago. You haven't slept more than 3 hours at a time in 11 days. Your left knee is swollen from a fall on a wet staircase 4 nights back. You eat once a day. Your thinking is slower. This is what exhaustion does to risk assessment. It makes bad options look reasonable. It makes staying in one place an extra 12 hours feel like a calculated decision when it's actually just fatigue. You stay 12 hours too long. Cell tower data places you within a quarter-mile radius. A joint task force of 8 agents and 4 local officers begins a coordinated sweep at 5:47 a.m. You're asleep, not deeply asleep. The kind of shallow, alert animal sleep that's been your only rest for weeks. You hear something. You're already moving when the door comes open. It doesn't matter. There are 6 points of egress, all covered. This is not improvised. This has been planned at a table with floor diagrams and radio assignments and a clear chain of command. You make it to a window. There's an officer below. You stop. Your hands go up before they tell you to put them up. Not because you've decided anything, because your body understands, even if your mind is still processing, that there is no next move. The handcuffs are cold. The ground is wet. Someone reads you your rights in a flat, practiced voice. Everything stops. Legal consequences.
Good.
The charges are read aloud in a federal courtroom. You hear your name followed by a list. Wire fraud, interstate transportation of stolen property, conspiracy, obstruction. 2 additional counts tied to
I'm
the
guessing over 30
escalation in
years.
October. The evidence is not circumstantial.
Plus like 10,
It is
plus
extensive,
probation.
time-stamped, and cross-referenced across multiple jurisdictions. Your attorney is competent. She tells you this clearly and without emotion. A plea deal is offered 14 weeks after arrest. It reduces 3 counts. It requires full cooperation on 2 open matters. It takes 11 more weeks to finalize. The courtroom on sentencing day is not dramatic. The judge reads the sentence in under 4 minutes. 17 years. Federal. Minimum security designation reviewed at year 5. No parole in the federal system. You serve 85%. 14 years and 5 months. The math is simple. Your attorney nods. She's seen worse. You're processed before noon. You become a number, not metaphorically, literally. 8 digits. That number appears on your clothing, your file, your meal tray, your mail. The first week is loud. The first month is long. By month 6, you understand the rhythm. Wake, count, eat, work assignment, count, yard, count, eat,
What does
count,
count mean?
lights out, it repeats. The first year, you get letters. The second year, fewer. By year 4, your mother has moved. Your old phone number is disconnected. One friend still writes, but the letters are shorter and further apart and eventually stop entirely. You stop expecting them. You stop expecting most things. The person you were before the arrest becomes someone you remember the way you remember a place you visited once. The
Bro.
details are there, but the feeling is gone. You age in a room, not dramatically, just steadily. The way everything moves that can't be stopped. You read, you stay out of conflicts. You do not get additional time added. Years pass the way fluorescent lights hum, constantly, unnoticed, until one day you realize it's been 11 years and the math to release is now smaller than the math already served. The door opens on a Tuesday. February. Cold. You're wearing clothes someone processed out of storage. They fit differently than they should. There's a bus stop. No one is waiting. The town outside the facility is not the town you remember from any point in your life. It's a different configuration of the same basic world. Different phones, different faces, different references in every conversation that you can't place. You find a room through a transitional program. You apply for jobs with a form that requires you to check a box. You check it. The fear you lived in for those final months before capture, the hypervigilance, the tactical thinking, the constant calculation, none of it is useful here. Here you are, simply old news, a closed case. The FBI website still has your entry archived. It lists your capture date, your sentence, your case number. Nobody searches for it anymore. You sit in your room on the fourth night of freedom and you realize the strange truth of it. You were never as important as the hunt made you feel.
They
The
put you on
system didn't
timeout and then
pursue you
release you and
because you
said, hope
mattered.
you thought about your
It
actions.
pursued you because that's what systems do. They close loops. You were a loop. Now you're closed.
Insane. 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 That's gonna do it, y'all, man. Please, y'all, comment, like, subscribe to the video. Don't become wanted, man. I'm out.